Hi, my name is Megan and welcome to Pacific Yoga Fit. For today, we're going to be doing a restorative practice with just 3 poses, one of which has both sides. With restorative practice, we tend to stay in these poses for a significant amount of time, so roughly about 5 minutes, allowing our body to travel into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is taking us out of fight or flight and creating a little bit of peace and calm in our practice. So with a restorative practice, it is useful to have a blanket, a bolster, or a pillow that has some consistency to it so it's a little bit thicker, and at least 2 blocks. Typically for all of the restorative practices that we do on this will be the format of the props that we use, just because I want to be able to keep it with items that you have at home. So to set yourself up, our first pose is going to be a supportive child's pose. So finding a space where your knees can feel comfortable. So taking a blanket, I just used one of our dog blankets that we have. You're going to take it nice and wide so that it covers your mat so that your knees feel really comfortable. Whenever we take restorative poses, we want to make sure that there's no pain or discomfort in the body. So if you tend to have issues with your knees, you can take another blanket, you have one, and roll it up, kind of taking your knees out of this extreme flexion. If you're doing that, your supported child's pose may require blocks underneath your bolster. So you can simply place any height, just making sure that they're both even, and you would come down and place your body here. If you have a little bit more mobility in your knees, take your bolster to the floor. Your arms can go forward. Turn your head to the left first, so your right ear comes down. Close your eyes. Settle into this space. Stay supported here on your bolster, with your head relaxed to that left side. Start to deepen your breath. As always, we will start our practices with bringing awareness to the breathing. Just find support with this bolster. Notice your hips. Notice the position in relation to your heels. Let your body surrender into this shape. You'll stay here, close your eyes, and just breathe. Changing nothing in your body, just shifting your gaze to the other side. So turning your left ear to your bolster. Keep your arms relaxed. Maybe just give a little wiggle to the fingers and come back to your breath. Let your body really get heavy into this shape. You should be able to stay here without any discomfort, focusing on your breath. start to gently wiggle your fingers. Find some movement in your wrists. Maybe give your hips a little shift to the left and the right. Bring your forehead to the bolster for a moment, just neutralizing your cervical spine. And then go ahead and walk your hands in and rise up to a kneeling position. You're going to take your blocks and you're going to place one on the low height and one on the medium height, just elevating the block. And you want to give a little bit of distance so that it can naturally angle your bolster up. What you will do is you will take your right hip, place your right hip against the bolster. You can stagger your knees, you can stack your knees, again, whatever feels comfortable in your body. And then your hands are still framing your bolster just like they were in your child's pose. You're going to walk your hands forward and twist your chest to the bolster. So option for your cervical spine, for your neck, is your choice. You can look the same way that your knees are. For more of an intense twist, you'll turn your gaze away. Just remember what you do to mimic it on the other side. So we'll do the same thing both sides. Again, settle into this shape. And get comfortable. If you need to and you notice that your elbows are elevated off the floor, you can always place a blanket underneath the elbow. Again, finding full support of your body with every point connecting to the mat. Stay with a nice long deep inhale and exhale as you stay in this shape. Finding a nice little rotation through the back. We'll be here for about another minute before we switch sides. For this transition right to left, since you've seen the shape on the other side, try to keep your eyes closed. So we'll do the same exit. Just bring some movement to the fingers, your ankles, your feet, elbows. And then gently walking your hands in to press yourself up. The best thing to do is to shift onto your sit bones so that your back is facing the bolster, your feet are to the floor, knees are to the sky. And then you'll just switch. Drop the knees to the left so that your left hip comes up against the bolster. So same exact shape, either staggering your knees or keeping the knees stacked one on top of the other. Your left hip is against the bolster, and you'll rotate your chest towards the bolster and bring yourself down. Elbows on the floor. And again, just make sure you do the same thing as you did on the other side. So you're either facing the way that your knees are, the direction that your knees are, or you're turning your head away. We'll be here for a few minutes. Again, reconnecting to your breathing. Long, deep inhale and exhale. Really finding some more depth and texture to the breath. Let your breath create this sense of calm. Notice if you have the urge to fidget, and try to avoid that urge. Try to really stay in the stillness of this space on your mat. And again, about a full minute left. Same thing, small movements to bring yourself out. You probably will need to open your eyes for this one because we are going to move ourselves towards a wall. So slowly starting to rise on your own time, walking your hands in. Go ahead and shift yourself to a seated position. And then what we're going to do is move our bolsters towards the wall. You can let your blocks come off to the side. We don't need them anymore. And you're going to take your blanket and place it in line with your bolster. Then what you will do is you will take a seat onto your bolster so that your hip, right or left, it doesn't matter. Hip is closest to the wall and you're sitting firmly onto the bolster. And then what you will do is your hands will come back behind you as you shift your legs up the wall, bring yourself down onto your elbows. And then notice if you've kind of slid off the bolster, scoot your hips as close to the wall as you can. Your legs will go high, your arms will come down by your sides. This is where I will leave you guys to finish out your practice. So take your time getting into this shape. There's other options. If you feel like your ankles are uncomfortable, you can also take a blanket, place it around your feet so that your ankles are supported. You can also kind of place something around your knees, whatever feels comfortable to you, just so that you can feel fully connected to the wall and to the floor underneath. Once you've arrived in this shape, close your eyes. Come back to your breath. Keep the consistency of your breathing steady. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your body heavy to the floor. I will take you guys out of this pose. We'll be here for a few more minutes. Just relax. This posture, it's an ability to reset. Recharge your body. Can also give you a little bit of surrender. This practice is really great for winding down at the end of your day. Stay focused on your breathing. Keeping your eyes closed. Start with your feet this time. Wiggle your toes. Do some circles with your ankles. Bend your knees so that your feet come to the wall. Take a hold of your bolster with your hands and scoot your hips away from the wall, off of your bolster, and then turn to your right side. Staying in this shape just for a moment, a few rounds of breath here. When you're ready, make your way to a seated position. Press up into your hands. Again, try to keep your eyes closed. Find a nice tall spine. A Sukhasana, easy seat. Hands towards your heart center. Bow your chin into your chest. As always, it's an honor and a blessing. Thank you for being in this space, sharing your practice. I hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever that is. Namaste.